What's up, WWE Champions Universe? This is Lee from Champions Chat, and this is your breakdown of Drew McIntyre, the Chosen One. So, new Drew in the game is the oldest Drew, except he's the youngest Drew. Like, he's the oldest in chronological history, but because time moves that way and not that way, he's also the youngest version, and he does look it. Like, if you go back and watch Drew McIntyre videos before he got the beard and got all rawred up, he looks like a baby. Like, it really does. And they kind of captured that essence here. So, as you can see, PG era means with Punk and new Shiny Cena, you've got some good PG era characters again, which is awesome. Links in gear with 3MB, which is Jinder Mahal, because the other member, Heath Slater, is not in this game. Matching red gems, charge moves of that color by one more MP, doesn't really help him. PG era, which is one more again. And he does have gear that we're going to unlock in a moment, which I think is hilarious that they included the 3MB gear. Yellow gems do 200% more damage. Not going to impact our first move set. Oops. And coaching ability. At 35k, purple gems do 40% more damage. Trap gems do 60. So the traps do 60 is good. Not as good as the 100% trap coach. But if you were to pair the 100% trap coach with this trap and you were, say, using Zombie Steamboat, you would have a good combination. Or more likely, Alexa Bliss, right? So you've got some people there. He's got a lot of different move sets. We are going to take a look at a couple of them, a few of them, you might say. The first one is going to look like this, right here on your screen. So, moves. 5 MP black moves, the Gut Buster, deal damage, not much, and then make yellow MP go up by 9. That's nice. Then a 5 MP Claymore, which is funny that the Claymore is not his finisher, but if you remember, this is the era where Drew accidentally invented the Claymore kick because his pants were too tight. As a member of 3MB, he was wearing these leather pants, and he went up to kick somebody in the face, and his other leg just kind of pulled with him, and that's how the Claymore kick was invented. So it was not his finisher, it became after this, right? So deal a little bit of damage and then make 35 random gems into reinforced gems, and then the power bomb. Deal 1 million damage, that's a decent number to get started, plus bonus damage for every reinforced gem, so now you have unblockable damage in there. Then finisher, deal another million damage, that's a good number, and make 49 random gems into black. That's the whole board. Entourage, because it's 5 MP moves, you can have Molly or Tori right here. For any color gems do 40% more damage, plus start with 2 more black MP. The final boss, Rock, reinforced gems do 75% more damage, plus start with 2 more MP. Stone Cold, not Stone Cold, the Hollywood Blondes version, gives you another 40% to all color gems. And Yokozuna, reinforced gems do 100% more damage. Also, on the strap, I'm going to move this just real quick. I didn't because I was like, who cares? But it is a yellow move that does some good damage. So I will move this to a yellow move damage. This Fury 2, though, it's 100% strap with double Fury 2s, not Fury 3s. So you're not seeing the full potential, but it keeps it realistic to more rosters that way. However, we are going to check out the new plate. I know that's counterintuitive, but again, keeping it slightly more realistic with that. Whenever you make 6 or more reinforced gems, increase all your gem damage by 200%. So the Rainbow Reinforced plate, that one, was upgraded this weekend. It debuted last weekend and was not met with universal praise because 100% on reinforced gems was okay, but not yeet levels or even Botchman levels. This, however, goes to 200%. So theoretically, you think about it, you are increasing all your gem damage by 200%, and reinforced gems by nature make you break them twice. So it is buffing 400% on all gems, which makes that a very good plate overall. Much better than what it was. Not Piper levels, but much better. All right, so very straightforward and simple moveset, easy to run. You're going to see it very, very convincingly win quickly here. Notice this is not the one that buffs the color that your gear does. So we'll see another moveset that does that, but it does give you a lot of unbreakable, unblockable damage. So there you go. All right, so we're just making 35 random gems to reinforce. There's your Claymore kick. Also, I think Drew looks pretty good with the X's on the pants there to show you that this is the old version of him. The one inspired by CM Punk. Yeah, he would hate you hearing say that. This makes everything black, which is not his primary color. Yellow is, but it does get buffed up quite a bit by the plate. So as you can see, he was long gone very quickly, very easily. No muss, no fuss on that. The only thing that's really going to block it is anybody who blocks when your moves make another color move go up, or if they start introducing reinforced block characters, if there's not already. There may be. There's so many aspects to that system that I often forget now who does what and who doesn't do what. So that is your first move set. Let's check out another. All right, for the second move set, we are going to go from Whale to Whaley-er. On the moves, you're doing the Glasgow Kiss, 5 MP yellow move. Deals a bit of damage, but more importantly, gain 10 green MP. It is also a reversal. If the opponent generates leech gems, you steal them, steal the opponent's turn, and so on. Then you have the Big Boot. Deal a little bit of damage, make 6 random gems into multiply gems of strength 5. That number is going to be important in a minute. And then Hardcore. If your opponent's class is Striker, first deal more damage, then make 6 more random gems into Strength 5. So this is best against Strikers. You know we always will go against Zombie Sammy, who's a Striker. So you are going to see the bigger benefit to this boost. Plus, we've got White Noise. That is Sheamus's finisher, but now it's his. It was his. Whatever. 10 MP, but it's loaded by the 5 MP moves. That's good. Deal 1,000,000 damage. Increase your yellow gem damage by 100%. Does not affect bonus damage. Then deal 1,000,000 damage and swap the entire board over to yellow. So this is the move set that your gear is designed around. And since the gear is pretty whaley, S plus tier character is pretty whaley, we're going to use some pretty whaley stuff in the midst of all of this, starting there and then moving and ramping up the plates. So Kofi gets you loaded turn 1 in every mode. Sherry, going to give you 4 more increase on the multiply gems. Seth Leonardo, 3 more increase. If you don't have Seth Leonardo, you can use Memrock. He's up 1. And then Uncle Howdy, for everything that creates multiply gems, will create 6 more. So now you're going from 6 random gems to 12 random gems plus 12 random gems, which means when you're going up against Strikers, you've got about half the board as multiply gems of strength 12. Still not as big a deal as, say, Roman or things like that, but he is making this into his primary color, yellow, so where Roman makes a much bigger area into higher, much higher number of multiply gems and strength, I should have said. This is his primary color on Drew, whereas that is not. It's his second or tertiary even color on OTC. OTC still hits like a friggin' Mack truck. Don't get me wrong. The main plate you want to use for the basic is the Nightmare. Whenever you make 6, that's why that number is important, or more multiply gems, increase your yellow gem damage by 100%. So you are going to trigger that once, maybe twice, but I don't think you're going to trigger it. No, you're not, because it's all happening in one shot. Maybe. If it does 1 and then does a whole new cycle and creates more, it might be okay. We'll see. But either way, at least 100, if not 200%. And the L8 Bite, whenever you activate a yellow move, increase your yellow gem damage by 50%. So that's only going to buff it by 50%. But we are going to get into some other plates in here, namely the yellow Royal Rumble, because the Jade plate is not going to do any good for you. You know, I mean, you could do, break yellow, make black or something like that. You don't really need it. Break yellow, make green. That would at least maybe Give you a little bit more bonus damage since that's one of his colors, but we're going to add that in a minute. You saw it coming. Once we add the gear, we're going to add that next. So this is gearless, just to verify. I have no gear. I have no gear anywhere that can be seen so that you can see it with him. Gearless, not a member of the 3MB. I'm a three-man band. Because he's the only one still in the company. So it's not we anymore. Okay, so a couple things here. This is loaded because of the 99MP. After 99MP, this is the way it's going to get loaded. Because we don't have anything loading this up, right? Right. So in 99MP, you absolutely can make the whole board. And I'll show it. But for now, we first want to see what it'll be like realistically, because especially 99MP only lasts for the month it's valid for, which means that, yeah, you're not getting that very much. All right, so that procced. There's no way to see without doing a little bit of math what it got us up to if it buffed him twice, but it is 3.7 million on each of those gems. And all of them are going to turn his primary color. So that is a big hit. He's got 62 million health right here. It's not a random area, even though it says a random 7x7 area. Or maybe it didn't say random. Maybe I made that up. But that is 215 million. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I didn't want to show you buffing with the other stuff just yet. I mean, let's verify, trust but verify, right? That was 215 million, but I mean, it was a number in excess of 67 million that started with 215. So, it's lucky guess to see it be 215 million. Bam. Let's just make sure that wasn't a lucky fluke. 63 million health left. Bam. Big boot. Lays down 12 gems. There we go. And then a big hit. Now, again, this is against strikers. This is like everything's ideal. Almost, because we still haven't added the gear. But tire board, lots of 12s on there. Lots of bonus gems. 212 million. So, 200 plus million with that moveset. With those things. You're saying, I don't have. Name the thing. All right, you don't have Uncle Howdy. Okay. Substitute in Mosh Potato, Mosh of the Headbangers, for Sherry, and use Seth Leonardo. Don't have Seth Leonardo, but do have Sherry. Okay. And you got Howdy, blah, blah, blah. Before we add the gear, I wanted to show you what happens if you go in, again, against a striker, yes, but what happens if you go in and you have, say, no Howdy, say you got no Seth, say you've got no Sherry. Now, you do at least have somebody here, because you don't need anybody that has, like, whatever primary color. You have somebody that starts you with 2 more MP, right? And 2 of that. So you got Matt Hardy. You got this guy. You got somebody from another color because you don't need it. You got this covering you for your move loadout. So you can at least do this. Nightmare Plate, LA Bite, and even if you could take off the LA Bite, we could, do that. But again, I think you'll be fine. Watch. You'll see. Glasgow Kiss. Then into the Big Boot, which is the move that ended up creating the Claymore. So there's another little bit for it. Now they're times 7. They're not as big. They're not as big a deal, right? And then you do the white noise in honor of Shamu, Shamwowmus, and kaboom again. And 73 million. So more realistic numbers, 73 million. Wowzers. All right. So let me, for just a moment, go to... You can't hear my microphone when I do that, actually, the way I have this set. So let me do that, actually, for just a moment so that I can add Yawn Gear into this equation. I think we've sufficiently shown that with nothing super special, 70 million is very easily achievable with a few clicks. Not bad, right? All right, so let's add the 3MB gear. Done. done. And let me go back here, but let me re-enable this before I forget. And I tell you, but you see nothing, right? Oh my gosh, it was amazing. He did $40 bajillion. And then you're like, yeah, but we didn't see it, so it didn't happen, right? Also, wait for it. Ready? There's the gear. Look at him. He looks like everything 3MB was bad for. You can even see the mascara. Like the mascara guy liner is there for this. So I love the look of this gear. I honestly think it's hilariously cool. Yeah, so same thing. Now, once again, you can see the bonus, unlock 200% yellow gems, keeping everything that was the same, and then we're going to ramp back upwards. So we'll do this. We'll add back in Sherry and, Howdy and all that. Then we're going to swap in the yellow Royal Rumble plate, and then I'll very quickly show you what he'll do with 99 MP if you make all of the gems into multiplies, just to show you that Drew, he can hit pretty hard here. He's a pretty hard-hitting dude. The only struggle I have with this moveset is its multiply, and every multiply trainer is needed by 700 people in this game. So 105 million from the 67-70 million range. So gear adds about 30 million if you got nothing on him, because obviously you're not going to just leave those spots blank. So with Kofi, with Braun, you're still going to add in Memrock or somebody. At the very least, you have Zombie Gunter, who would add 60% more damage. So you can't say he can't hit with basic things, right? But now let's go back and give him some of the things. Then we'll add another plate and just, yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. That's what that was. It's gonna be good. I want this Drew. Every time they come out with a great new character, I'm like, I don't need him. I just got Showboat Gunter, which means I don't have enough shards to take this guy up, even if I do get him, and I still want him. I'm gonna pull this weekend. I'm going to, yeah. I'm not encouraging you to. I'm just saying I'm going to. Yep, because numbers. 294 million. So 300 million hit with that. And of course, a horse is a horse. Of course. You buff all the yellow gems, which means should you have a yellow Royal Rumble instead of the 50%, because that's all you're actually getting out of the LA Bite plate. Because you're only running, not Entourage. That can stay the same. Thank you. This one, that's all you need, is this guy right here instead of the LA Bite. It was only adding 50% more. So yeah, you're getting a little bit of buff out of it, but now you're buffing all of those gems, and then you're going to hit a lot more yellow gems because it's going to drop a whole nother chunk of them. It's going to be chunky levels of ouch. And I know you're thinking, but yeah, that was against a striker. Yeah, it's true. It is true. It is against a striker. At least statistically, a sixth of the game are strikers, though. So it's not that hard to target them. And if you just remember that Showboat defeats striker in the color system wheel, you got it down. Plus, he still hits fine because, again, I took off all the other coaches, so you're still good. That still only said 297 million. Don't know why. It doesn't matter. It's still 300 million. So that 50% apparently actually did do fine. So you've either got the LA Bite, or you've got that, or you can just do something that breaks A and then throws down A, whatever. All right. Last one. Can we show you what the... Come on, man. Come on. Let me show you what the 99 MP looks like on this. This is only valid for another week and a half. So there is one more moveset. Make sure you stick around for it. It's not near as cool, but it is different. It is cool. It's very defensive. So yeah, there's most of the board now. And then we're going to throw down the rest of the board. Nice. You could recreate this post 99 MP. It's a 7 MP, so you'd have to have green +1 plus a top or midline bonus. So it's not easy to recreate, and it drops. You're going to drop most of your trainer coaches that make the multi-gems go up. So it is going to impact it that way. So I don't think it's worth it. But technically, you could do it if you wanted to. However, for a short window of time, 610 million damage. Wow. It's almost up there with Powerhouse Hogan numbers, isn't it? So he's good. He's good. All right, let's check out the defensive build. It's different. We like different, and it gives you one more option. So let's see it. All right, third moveset is better than you think it's going to be. It's the 5 MP Glasgow Kiss we just saw, plus the Future Shock DDT, getting all the hits in there. 5 MP yellow, deal damage, choose a 7x2 area, 14 gems, that's a number you'll want to remember, into Protect gems of strength 1.42 million. We're going to look at that number too. Then the 10 MP Neckbreaker, doesn't matter, it's loaded by the Glasgow Kiss, deal 1.5 million damage, plus 1.42 million bonus damage for every Protect gem, then deal 1.5 million damage and choose a 7x5 area, that's important numbers to remember, to swap into yellow gems and pin the opponent. Entourage, you'll still need Kofi to get started loaded turn 1. Then you're going to want to dust off your old Powerhouse Otis for Protect gems, do 100% more damage. If you got them, the Twusos for Protect gems do 100% more damage. And then whoever you want to put here, Steve Austin, any color gems do 40%, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Yellow gems, yes, are a part of this, but your bigger damage is coming from this right here. You're dealing 4.27 million bonus damage for every Protect gem times 14. So last I checked, what is 14 times 4.27 million? 59 million. So you're dealing 60 million damage, plus you're protecting all of your damage by about 40 million, plus if you happen to have one of these Protect straps, you could dust it off too. Most people don't use these. So a 60% plus Protect 2s on there with some substats. You're protecting gem damage by 253%. So that means your opponent has to survive a 57 million hit, which is possible, even likely, but that means that their ability to kick out has dropped significantly, right? Then they have to get 253% more damage just to hit above 1, because you can't reduce your gems below 1 damage. So that means their 150% strap with double or quadruple, I should say in this case, you have to have all 4. Fury 3s is still doing 0 base damage. They have to have damage above and beyond that. Unfortunately, unless I'm just blanking on it, there's not really anything for Protect gems in here. I mean, there's just not. Yeah, there's just not. Botch gems, sure. Heal gems now even. Protect gems, no, not really. But you don't actually need them, so it doesn't matter anyway. So we're going up against Striker Sami Zayn. No special buffs. Gear is not doing anything super spectacular. Although, on top of that 50 million, yes, you are also hitting a 7x5 area into yellow. And so it should be noted that I did add Striker Steve Austin on there for 40% more all-color gem damage. And then, so we're going to put these here-ish. But I actually kind of want to put them here because there's a barrier between these. And you don't want yellow gems touching because you're going to make all of this yellow. Well, actually, you know what? I'm wrong because you're actually going to make 3 yellow here, 2 yellow here. So I'm going to put it back on top. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right. So watch his health. Watch his health. It goes away. Yeah. Kaboom. Ba-doo. It's gone. It's gone. because there's all the bonuses involved as well. So, yeah, more than enough. Ooh, that sucks, actually. That really took everything out, but it doesn't matter. He can't kick out. If he could try, he would have had to have overcome, if all of those survived, a 40 million hit beyond wherever he was. So don't throw this moveset out. It's actually really stinking good if you got the Tusos. But even without them, you got those things. This is my argument for it. Here it is. Here's my argument for it. Multiply gems. Yeah, he hit for 200 plus million, 300, 600. He hit for 600 million one time. That's not going to last. That's just for funsies. 300 million, right? Or you hit for 70 plus million, 80 million. That's half, right? But every top tier character needs Sherry, Memrock, or Seth, Uncle Howdy, or Gunther, Zombie Gunther, or the other zombies, because now there's all the colors, right? So you're going to have affiliation straps on them, and literally 90% of the top tier characters in the game seem to be multiply gem based. However, Drew is going to be using Powerhouse Otis. When was the last time you went, oh gosh, I really need to put a reinforced strap on Powerhouse Otis because I just am using him on too many people? Anybody, right? You're not. So from the standpoint of, do you want him hitting for 300 million? Sure. There are other characters that can do that. There's less characters that would use this trainer set right here and still end things pretty easily and comfortably turn one. As you saw, Sammy went away before I even laid down the yellow gems. So that was going to be even bigger hit. So you're still hitting in the 100-ish million damage, but you're also protecting 40 million damage, plus all the defensive stuff on your straps. I didn't show it, but, let's just show it real quick. This is a striker. Not a great strap. Obviously, you'll come across others. But if you click on his poster right there, all of his gems are doing 1. Which means even if he was at full strength, he could not kick out if you went boop and did finger poke of doom and he was done. If I just swiped enough gems to pin him right now, which I don't think I could do. Wait, hold on. What are the odds? Nope. Didn't get him. You also have to click. There it is. All right. How about now? Dang it. Now he's going to sub me. All right. Never mind. Well, actually, he might reset the board, but I still don't. Well, he's going to break those. So we'll get a new board. Hold on. And then I'm going to swipe something away. I can keep that intact by doing this. Hold on. There we go. Watch this. This is with a gem swipe. Nope. That's full health. So, do you see my argument here? I actually think that is one of the better ways to run him, honestly. Honestly, all three of them are great. This is a very great character, very versatile. You don't need the gear, but it definitely makes him a lot spicier. And I think he's worth having on any roster. So if you get him, you are quite the lucky three-man ducky. Yeah, I got to do the three-man band. All right, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Send it to your friends, faction mates. Share it with them. They need to see it because this right here is finally the Drew McIntyre that is worthy of the name. The Scottish Warrior. The Scottish Psychopath. The Destroyer of all things CM Punk. So, I like him. See you on the next one. Like, subscribe, send it to your faction mate. See you later.